Welcome to Into the Mind of a Madman. You are now rocking with me, the Madman, and today I wanted to talk to you about the flat Earth theory. It's a lot of things going on with this flat Earth theory and these flat Earthers, and I am not what is it a scientist. I'm not like so educated on all of the inner workings of flat earth theory, but I do have a few questions that I wanted to ask somebody like a Lord Jamar, who I listen to, who I follow with his podcast. And he's a flat earther, so I don't know everything I know from Lord Jamar because I've heard it from other people, but he's somebody I actually listen to whenever he like puts out his show. So with him being a flat earther, these are some of the questions that I kind of wanted to ask him, and these points are kind of based off certain points that I know he referenced before in his projection of why he believes in the flat earth theory versus the round earth theory. And the first I guess value the first question I will have for Lord Jamar or anybody in the flat earth community is gravity. Um Far as gravity goes, y'all do not believe in gravity. Y'all say, and I heard Lord Jamar say, it's either something is dense or something is buoyant. Dense means it has some weight to it. It's a mass that has weight to it that will air is um air is the median, right? So it either is heavier than air or is buoyant to where it can float through air. So it's either heavier or lighter than air. That's why things fall or that's why things rise to a degree. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't believe gravity. There's some type of energy that pulls things to the center of the earth. You know what I mean? Holding things down. Now, and like I said, this is coming from a truck driver. This is coming from a regular man, a regular person, no type of scientific background, no type of real scientific wording or research to this. So this is coming from just a regular man, right? Me, how I view gravity is if gravity is real. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, regular man, grew up in the school system, USA, Brooklyn, New York, public school. That's where all of this is coming from. So, how I view gravity, if gravity is true, is gravity is a constant pressure. Whatever that pressure is, this atmosphere is used to it. It holds down water, it holds down people, it holds down butterflies, it holds everything down within this atmosphere, right? Now, what I say is, or what I believe is, if gravity is a constant pressure, whether it is 1 pound or 100 pounds, we're used to it, and it doesn't take with it being so with it being so consistent, and I just believe that it doesn't take much to push against it. For like when I don't really know how to explain it, so that's why I'm making this blog so you can see it and like kind of really inform me. So if my finger is gravity and I'm holding down my table here to the ground, like the table's on the ground, I'm applying a little bit of pressure just to show like You see the table moving? I'm actually applying pressure. I'm not like not applying pressure. So that's all gravity is. Gravity will hold down anything that's not trying to push against it, whether it's horizontal or vertical or either which way or what, however the other wordings are, right? So if I'm gravity, I can hold down this table because this table has no force pushing against me. So if I'm gravity, I can hold down a person with my constant pressure because the person doesn't push against me. Now, once the person pushes against me, it's easy for me to be moved. It's not like the person has to use an exorbitant amount of force to go against gravity. You see what I'm saying? It's just a constant pulling of something so you don't I wouldn't say fly away because as long as you're in the atmosphere, you're just in the state of uh being pulled on. You get what I'm saying? And with let me see if I can word this right. With the diameter and the circumference of how big the earth is, the constant pressure of the pulling to the center of earth is what is it, dispersed with like this. So it doesn't it's not a concentrated punch, more like a slap, to where, like, if you know boxing or whatever, this will hurt and you could put more force into a fist than into like a slap. So with the diameter, circumference of how large the earth is, gravity's pressure isn't that strong, weighing a person or a body of ocean or an object down. It allows the pressure not to be felt heavily, because you can, I don't know, like, you can disperse the force, like if you're pushing something, instead of pushing something in one place, if you'll probably get you'll probably get a better results in a much more easier result if you disperse the weight evenly, and now you're pushing in like more than one place. That makes sense. I'm thinking I'm thinking it makes sense to me. So that's so gravity, with the earth being as big as it is, you don't really feel the weight of it pulling on you because the earth is so big, and it allows the pressures of the pull to be minimized to how you feel it, right? Now again, when you go against it, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, again, when you when you're not when something is not pulling away from it, it doesn't take any pressure or whatever to hold something down. Like I'm technically holding the table down because the table is not pushing against me. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't take much pressure. Like I said, I'm moving this table. So it doesn't take much pressure to technically hold this table down, and I'm technically holding this table down because I'm pushing against this table and holding it in place. You see what I'm saying? So that's how gravity works to me, right? And a big point that I hear Lord Jamar say is, okay, so this gravitational pull to the center of the earth, if the earth is so heavy, I mean, let me rephrase that. If water is so heavy like the ocean, right? How can it hold down water? And my reply to that is not a reply, just a inquiry far as this is how I'm viewing it. So like kind of correct me if I'm wrong type of thing. Like I said, I don't want to come off combative to anybody. I'm kind of want to come off with trying to learn, right? So a body of water, it constantly pushes against gravity. Yes, the whole ocean is not coming up and moving like floating in the air because water is so heavy. You see what I'm saying? And it will probably take, like I said, and I already explained the dispersity of the gravitational pull and why it's not so heavy. But waves, to me, waves against the ocean, like the ocean, the rising tides, uh waves like a surfer rides a wave, you know what I mean? When you go to the beach and they got the little rocks for the waves to hit so it disperses whatever it's supposed to disperse, and the waves come up on the rocks, and the waves come up on the beach, like that is pushing against gravity in my perspective. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. I hate that. I feel like people aren't taking into account that the ocean constantly pushes against gravity because they see no separation. I mean, this is how it's playing out in my mind. I think they're not seeing the separation of a wave coming out of water. You see what I'm saying? Like in this instance, if I lift my leg up off the ground, right? Me being a human compared to the earth or the earth in its ground, you see my leg going against gravity. You see what I'm saying? Because if I'm sticking to the earth and I lift my leg up from the earth, you see the separation. Water is within water. Like it's not like a wave separates from the ocean and then it's air in between the wave and the ocean that it came from. So to me, it's like, are y'all not accounting for this big wave to be pushed up upon or grow bigger or whatever it is? Just because water is still attached to the water. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Um with that being said, I just I just I just need to get some more understanding on. I understand water is supposed, like water is not just constantly, and the reason I'm saying that is because water is not just constantly leveled and not moving. See what I'm saying? Like I said, whether it's moving left or right, whether it's moving up or down, what is it, perpendicular, and all of these things, um, water is just not at this constant level to where it doesn't move up or down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, rising tides, the tide rise. It all of that is going up and down. You know what I'm saying? And it's that's just how I'm looking at it. So more on that's just one part of it. And when it comes to the water part, right? Again, Lord Jamar, when you're talking flat earth, he said this going on the Godfrey podcast. You know, he wants a flat earther to demonstrate how does water stay attached to the surface of a round ball, because flat earth is filled, the earth is flat, so water wouldn't necessarily stay attached to anything circular, because what I mean, it has to be in a container. You know what I'm saying? And within a container, like a cup of sorts, like this, like I don't know if y'all can see. This is like a little cup of, you know what I mean, on the top. So if I put water in here, or if I had a water bottle, I have a water bottle right here actually. Hold on. So this is a water bottle. If you can see, the water levels out. You see what I'm saying? So if it's in a container, the water will level out. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they believe water will always do. You know what I'm saying? If it's no it's no demonstration I can do to have a ball and have water be around this ball, right? Now, the combative to that, far as round earth is filled, I mean, is the gravitational pull that holds that water together. So in a demonstration, right? If I believe, as a round earther, that gravity is real, my demonstration will always fail, because the gravitational pull of the earth will be stronger than my my demonstration, right? That whatever demonstration I can make, the gravitational pull of the earth will always pull the water off the ball. See what I'm saying? So I my proposal in my regular brain would, I don't know if flat earthers would consider this to be true if it doesn't use water, but I'm gonna put this idea out there. I don't know if there can be a a a hollow ball, or whatever, a ball with a magnetic force in it, right? Say like a huge magnet inside of some type of sphere, right? And then you take not water, because I don't think water is magnetic, right? Say, I was thinking this in the car the other day, like a lithium battery, like lithium. I think lithium is liquid, right? If I'm not mistaken. If you take some type of metal liquid and a strong magnet, would the magnetic liquid adhere or be stuck to the ball, in a sense? Like, like you got the magnet, you got the ball, the spear, and then you put the liquid around it. Will it stick to, as the magnet would be gravity? You see what I'm saying? And the magnetic liquid, which is like the lithium, it would be, the gravity would be pulling to it, but it wouldn't go inside because you got the ball. I think that would probably be the only type of demonstration. I don't know if flat earthers would accept that as a demonstration, simply because they'll always have the fallback. It's not water. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, the only the only other way, to me, that you can pull off that demonstration, if it is possible, you would have to talk to a scientist. But my brain tells me, like, when I was in junior high, my science teacher uh did an experiment, right? He put a rock and a feather within a capsule, right? He just put the rock and the feather in, closed the capsule, and he turned the capsule upside down, right side up, whatever you want to say. And the rock fell at a faster rate than the feather, because there was air inside the capsule. You see what I'm saying? So the feather just floated down slowly. The rock went down fast, right? the rock is much more dense than the feather, so it flew it it moved quicker to the other side of the capsule once you flipped it. You know what I'm saying? Because the air inside. He then takes a vacuum and sucks the air out of the capsule. So now when you flip it and there's no air inside this capsule, both in the rock and the feather falls at the same rate. See what I'm saying? Now I say that to say the only way I think you can use water to adhere to the outside of a sphere of a sphere or a ball or whatever is in a vacuum. I don't know if it's true because when I think of a vacuum or something that's you're removing, because first I have to say this. In order do this experiment, we must first be able to remove gravity. If because we believe gravity exists, we first have to remove the gravity from which the room in which the experiment is taking place. Because like I said, the gravitational pull of the earth will always be stronger than whatever little experiment you can do. So it's not going to work in just a regular room because it's it has a gravitational pull. You see what I'm saying? If we believe in gravity is real. So now, which I think you're starting out flawed simply because you have to put yourself in a vacuum for this experiment to work, which is admitting you're removing all things within this experimental room. See what I'm saying? Like I said, like the capsule, you take the air out the capsule, so now the experiment can work properly, or you get the results you're looking for. But you're admitting that you're removing what you think you're saying is not there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't even know if that is fair to the experiment, but this is the only way I see the experiment happening. Now, to me, from what they tell us, scientists, like when they go out of space in these spaceships and they remove, like they go out of the atmosphere of Earth, they start floating and water molecules start floating around. I don't know if I would think, but like I said, I'm just a regular person. I would think that would happen in a vacuum space. If you put water within this capsule in this room and you remove the air from it, and so you're removing the air and whatever because you're creating this vacuum space. I I think the water will start to float. So I don't. Again, you would still need something. I don't know if a magnet. I guess a magnet wouldn't work because I don't think water is magnetic. So you would have to have something that to 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 get the water to be attracted to this ball. Now, that was a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot to me. So, I mean, I'm 25 minutes in and I really just didn't even get past this water and gravity yet. So, I'm going to move further, push further. So, that's like the first two things. Another thing I want to talk to a flat earther about is the sun portion. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is something new to me that I heard Lord Jamar say. He's saying the sun is in our atmosphere because if it's not. What is it like? 93 billion miles away, a million miles away, or whatever the number is. The sun is in our atmosphere. That's why, whatever they're saying, right? And because if it wasn't, then other why is Earth? I mean, why is space dark? And to me, that kind of makes no sense, to be honest with you. Because if I am here on the East Coast, which I am, right, and at 6 o'clock at night, at 9 o'clock at night, for me on the East Coast, is 6 o'clock at night on the West Coast, right? Because we all know the time difference. The sun is in our the sun in the sense is over America somewhere. Get what I'm saying? Now, if the Earth is flat, to me, I'm not gonna say if the Earth is flat. 9 o'clock at night is dark for me on the East Coast. If I get on the phone, a video chat with somebody on the West Coast, and it's 6 in the afternoon for them, it'll be sunny. So they'll see sun, and I'll see a dark sky. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say its positioning of the sun compared to where you are on Earth, and it's your perception which gives you the perception of what you see, right? And that's like the plain and simple of it. So to me, I think somebody on Jupiter, on Saturn, on Mars, on the moon would have the same perception whether the Earth is in our atmosphere or not. Because the I mean, not the Earth, what I said the Earth. If the sun was in our atmosphere or not. If the sun is wherever the sun is, the sun's positioning to Saturn at whatever time of day it may be, and to where you are positioned to the sun and Saturn, which will determine it, what part of space gets light and what part of space doesn't get light, is all I'm saying. I just I don't That's a new concept that I heard Lord Jamar say that I'm just confused on just off rip, just because like I said, me not being scientific at all, just me just knowing the time zone difference and the positioning of the sun, we both can see light and dark at any particular time. So why would that change for space? Why? I don't understand the correlation of the sun being in our atmosphere and you saying the sun has to be in our atmosphere, because why isn't space lit up? Like, is it supposed to be constantly lit up? Because Earth is not constantly lit up. That's where I'm going with this. I didn't understand that point. If you can help me get to where you was getting to, please help me. In the last point, which I think is very crucial, which I the last point from a regular man, the last point from somebody who is open to learning, like I said, I'm not against flat earth. I just have some questions, and I'm very open to just learning. And even I don't know, I would say not even, damn, it's not my last point. It's not my last point. Let me stop for that point, because I think I want to end on that point. Another point. Um this curvature of the earth point. The first thing I wanna acknowledge is I do believe scientists can be wrong. Now, I do understand, like, I'm a truck driver, right? I do understand flat earthers saying, well, if the earth is round, at some point which we should see a curvature, right? Now, if the flat earthers takes the numbers of scientists, right? Can take the numbers saying, the earth's diameter is this. That means the circumference of the earth is this. So if the circumference of the earth is this number, then using this math, you should start seeing the curvature of the earth after however many miles or whatever, kilometers or whatever you use in your country, right? I get it. To me, that makes all the sense in the world. Now, what I say, because I heard, now what I want to say to that is, for one, if flat earthers saying scientists are wrong, if the flat earthers are saying scientists are being paid to feed the people, the governments, uh this false theory, they want to indoctrinate the people with a false theory, why do you take their numbers to say what size the earth is? That's the first uh answer I would like. You know what I'm saying? That's my first sense of this don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying they're using propaganda to push this round earth theory, then I don't think you should even say we're going to use your circumference numbers to disprove that, or prove that the earth is flat, or disprove that the earth is round. I think you should find your own numbers, or whatever. I don't know. Right? That's the first part of the curvature thing. The second part, y'all using this number, and I think it's wrong. Now, Lord Jamar, after he went on Godfrey's show, and it was kind of combative with uh pres, pres, Professor Dave, right? He then went on his own show and had a show with two flat earthers, right? And they presented an experiment. Well, one of them presented an experiment that they did where they used a frozen lake, and they put light markers, say like 5, 10, 15 miles, to show, in a sense, there's no curvature of the earth. Now, their experiment, which you can see on Lord Jamar's show, it showed a curvature within these light markers. Now, their point was, well, it should have been greater. Now, to me, you're simply proving or disproving flat earth versus round earth. I do not care that the numbers should have been greater. It should have been 0 from your experiment. If you put these light markers and you're trying to capture this camera to these light markers, and you're saying, well, this light marker, the curvature of the earth, you shouldn't even be seeing these if the earth was curved. But you do see an increase in in these light markers, like this one is 30 meters high, this one is 15 meters high, this one is 5 meters high, or whatever, whatever. It is, you are actually showing a curve within the earth. A lot of these experiments, to me, you're 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 losing me because you are showing the earth is curving, but you're also saying it should be greater, but you're also putting it on the terrain of the earth. And you're also, the distance you're using, to me, makes no sense. Now, I'm saying that as a truck driver, right? And I've been saying I'm a truck driver, a regular dude, this whole time for a reason. The reason is, I want you to understand I'm not using any type of scientific logic, and I'm using this as from my everyday brain. My everyday brain as a truck driver. I've been driving across the United States back and forth since 2007. It is 2025 when I'm making this video. Now, I do understand me driving the roads of the United States is not a straight line. Get what I'm saying? I do understand air miles. You know, when the calculation of a lot of within, like, I guess the DOT system, they use air miles. You know what I'm saying? Air miles is like going up in the air in a plane. Like, you go straight up and then you go straight to your destination. It's the mileage from airport to airport, for in layman's terms, as they say, right? Because when you're driving a highway, you might go north, you might go west, you might go north again, northwest, south, whatever, because you got to go through mountains, you got to go through valleys, you got to go left, right, whatever, around cities, around whatever it is, right? So somebody's like, you can't really say my drive through Texas took me such and such long. It took me 15 hours to go from Houston to El Paso, going 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. So the earth is what so big, or is so big. Now, with my regular truck driver brain, with me going through driving, I can calculate, well, maybe the United States is not as big if you uh fly across it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's big enough to know it takes me a long time to get across the state of Texas, or to drive across the state of Florida, or New York, or Alabama, or whatever. It takes me a couple hours, but it may be smaller than what my perception is, because, like I said, I'm driving and I just got to go through a lot more roads to get to my destination. If that makes sense, is what I'm saying. But I also understand that I've always heard, yo, 3 Americas could fit in Africa. However many Americas could fit in Europe or Asia or whatever. So I do understand Earth is still massive, even if I don't know the correct calculations of Earth. You see what I'm saying? And I can't really determine that just by driving, because my perceptions is off. You get what I'm saying? Now, what I'm also saying is, I believe scientists may have the numbers wrong, because in my brain, you shouldn't see a curvature within the earth in a 15-mile radius or distance. It's not going to be 100 miles. It, to me, to see a true curvature within the earth, it would have to be from East Coast Atlantic Ocean to West Coast Pacific Ocean before you actually see a significant. It's not these backyard experiments y'all performing. These flat earthers are performing. The earth is too large to even say, oh, 15 miles is the distance to which you'll see a curve within the earth. Just because my brain, right, regular brain, if I draw a small circle, I start curving it, that means my circumference is going to be small. To me, if I simply on my screen go like this to make a bigger curve, to me, I flatten it out but so much and then curve it. The more I do that, the greater the circumference is. See what I'm saying? So a small circle with a small circumference, I don't have to flatten it out as much. See what I'm saying? But to draw a wider circle, it's gonna be some flatness before I start to curve it. See what I'm saying? So when you doing these backyard experiments, even though Earth is not level, you see what I'm saying? Like if I go outside my house door, I can't see down the. I can see only but so far, just because the terrain of the earth and the little hills and valleys in my neighborhood, far as how the road is constructed and the 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 uh the housing is constructed and whatever. It's not cleared out to where you could see 100 miles in clear view of anything. You see what I'm saying? So to get in your backyard and try to, or to get to some type of frozen lake and place these light markers at certain points, I just don't think this experiment would be big enough to actually see this curvature of the earth, because if the earth is so big, you would need some, it would appear to be flatter. It would appear to be flat to the naked eye or to the camera eye, because the camera is not shooting, it's not as powerful as shooting from Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, far as using the United States as like your measuring tape. You see what I'm saying? I just don't, I just think the numbers is off. I think the numbers is off. So when I hear, I think it was Kid Cudi once before, he was saying he was in a plane and he seen um it was a guy, I think I was gonna bring this up later. It was a guy who parachuted down from outside, like just outside of Earth's atmosphere. He bungee jumped or parach not bungee jumped. He parachuted off like a space station or rocket or whatever. I think it was for like Red Bull. You can look it up on YouTube. Uh he parachuted from outer space into the Earth's atmosphere, right? And I think Kid Cudi said at the time he was on a plane wherever he was, and he actually seen the guy. So that's why he thinks Earth is flat. I think it was Kid Cudi. But anyway, like I said, the Earth would appear to be flat even if you go up into a plane. And like I said, you removing yourself from the Earth to get into a higher level to see straighter. I think it would appear to be flat because the circumference is so big that you would need that to then start curving later. You see what I'm saying? Like to think at a 15-mile radius you'll see this significant curve, and the earth is so massive. I just think the numbers is wrong. And like I said, whether the flat earthers numbers are wrong or the scientists who say the round earth numbers are those numbers are wrong, somebody is wrong because just my common brain tells me so. Now, now I think I want to bring this to my last and closing point. All right. We have so many flat earthers in the world, so many round earth people. I would have to think there has to be some rich flat earthers out here. Some flat earthers who own planes, helicopters, 747 jets. I don't care what it is. If you have rich, you have money, you go get some GoFundMe's. It should be enough flat earthers to where at some point you're willing to die to prove this point. And I'm saying that to say it costs money to fight wars. And flat earthers feel that there's a propaganda and there's a reason why governments and scientists are are saying the earth is round, right? I heard flat earthers say there are ice walls at the end of these earths, and there's like battleships protecting these ice walls. There's governments protecting us knowing that the earth is flat for whatever reason. So I'm saying get your money together and be willing to die behind proving that the earth is flat, to go against the government, to go against whatever the government protections are, to either build rockets with cameras and guns on them, so when y'all fly them up in space and y'all need to shoot something down that's being shot at you, do that to just to get one picture. All we need is one picture from a flat earther to prove that the earth is flat, to prove that there's ice walls. All we need is one picture. I I say adopt the ideologies of poor people, of any group, oppressed group that is willing to fight back against its oppressor at this point. Because what I'm saying is they may be able to take one, they may be able to take down three, but they can't take millions. You know what I'm saying? If you shoot, if all you rich people get together, if all you rich flat earth people get together and decide to get in the 3, 4 planes, 18 helicopters, to make 1,000 rockets, and all go up in the air at the same time and get these planes in the air. Like, I'm not saying they got to be manned planes or whatever. If that's what you want to do, if you want to do all of these things just to get one picture, because like I said, the governments and scientists are protecting this for a reason, and I believe they may have guns to shoot rockets down just so you don't get a picture off or whatever. If you shoot 10,000 rockets in the air at one time, and they all got cameras and they all got their miniguns on them, and then the governments start to shoot rockets and whatever at your rockets just to destroy them, I believe y'all will be able to get 1 or 2 pictures off. And it shows, all right, this is the flat earth. This is the ice walls. I believe you can make that happen. But some of y'all are going to have to be willing to die about it, because they're going to come to your house. They're gonna come try to take you out. They're gonna try to come get your servers. They're gonna try to stop you from building it. They're gonna all of the things because you're going against what they're trying to hold you to not believe or whatever for whatever reason. I just believe in 2025 where I'm shooting this right at this particular time. It's 2025 January. It's January 26, 2025 when I'm making this video. I just believe there has to be somebody willing to take this on. Some of you flat earthers, like I've heard them say, like, yo, why there are no more pictures of the earth saying it's round or whatever. It's time for y'all to have your own pictures saying the earth is flat. I didn't see Elon Musk. Like I didn't know Elon Musk all my life as a kid or whatever. I'm 40 years old today. Not I mean it's not my birthday today, but I'm 40 years old as of today. Elon Musk to me has been around the last 10, 15 years. He has SpaceX. He's able to shoot his rockets into space. Maybe because he's not a flat earther and maybe he's connected to whoever he's connected to at this point in time. So he was allowed to get SpaceX up and running and he's shooting his rockets into the atmosphere. I'm saying, where's the flat earth Elon Musk at? To where you get on board with shooting your rockets in the air and maybe if you get buddy with whoever Elon Musk is buddy with, you can shoot your rockets in the air and like trick them, and now you could prove the Earth is flat. You see what I'm saying? You could prove the Earth is flat. You could prove there's ice walls. You could prove there's ships protecting the ice walls. You can prove whatever you need to prove in disguise of you are a round earther. So maybe you don't even have to have arms, firearms on your rockets. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how you have to do it, but just get it done. I don't know if you can just hop in a 747, learn to fly. There has to be like some flat earth pilots somewhere. I don't somewhere or willing to be a pilot to where you could go up in a plane and fly like if you're in California. And I thought about this. Where are hold on, let me finish this point. Go up in the plane and fly east or west from California or China because or wherever you feel the end of the earth is. Maybe it's between New York and France. I don't know if it's between wherever the edge of the earth is. Get up in the plane and fly left or right, fly east or west, be in the cockpit and see the end of the earth. Take a picture outside of the put a camera on the nose of the plane. Do whatever you gotta do. Just do it. Now that leads me to this point. Where are the ice walls? Where is the end of the earth? I know I have to do more research on this particular subject because when I started contemplating on making this, and I kind of did a live a couple days ago. Now I'm kind of doing just a real I'm really doing a real recording of this right now outside of that live I did. On my live, you can see I say I order things from China all the time through websites, right? And when they send it through UPS in particular, it may go from China, Hong Kong, or whatever, and it makes a stop in Alaska. I mean, yeah, it makes a stop in Anchorage, Alaska. To me, when you look on a map, You go from China to Anchorage, Alaska, and you see the time differences, right? When you going through the tracking. When I'm looking at the UPS tracking and they're sending my packages, it's going from China to Anchorage, Alaska. If you look on a map to see where China and Anchorage, Alaska is, it's like a date line there, but it's kind of right there. See what I'm saying? And then by the time it hits Anchorage, Alaska, it goes to like Louisville, Kentucky, and then it comes to North Carolina to where I'm at, and then it gets to my doorstep, right? So I'm watching tracking. Where is the ice wall if it's going from China to Anchorage, Alaska? Are in the timing of it. Are they flying east to where it would go from China to Anchorage, Alaska? This little, to me, it would be what, a 5 hour trip, a 4 hour trip, but then you gotta add international dateline and all of that. So you're going backwards in time and all of that, whatever. I mean, y'all, if you understand that, you understand that. I'm not here to break that down. Or is there an ice wall in between China, or is it flat Earth, right? So now China, are they actually flying like through Europe, from China through Europe, over to like in France, and then they're going across the Atlantic Ocean and flying past New York and past Illinois, past South Dakota and Washington, and going to Anchorage, Alaska? Or like I said, is the ice wall in between, on the Atlantic Ocean, in between New York and Paris, or New York and France, or whatever? Like, where is the ice walls? Because I watch my packages go from China to Anchorage, Alaska. So is somebody just lying, deceiving me, or are they flying all the way? Like, wouldn't it be easier to go from China to somewhere in Europe, or somewhere in in Africa, and then make his way to the United States of America, like on the East Coast? Why does it fly all the way to Anchorage, Alaska, if they're flying west? To me, they're flying east, which is going from China to Anchorage, Alaska, and then it's going to Louisville, Kentucky, and then it's going from Louisville to Kentucky to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm just telling you, I am a person who watches my packages. When I order something and they send me the shipping information, I constantly watch my packages every day, just like checking my bank account. I don't know where the ice walls are. Is the earth is flat? Is the ice wall supposed to be north and south? How is the earth flat if they're flying these ways? Like, it's so, like I said, it's just a lot. It's a lot in the little bit of questions that I have. So I didn't spend about an hour now, and I put about four perspectives on the table. And like I said, some of these scientific terms and some of these the way y'all kind of looking at it, I can't get into. I can't get into all that. I'm just a regular truck driving man, and I just got my couple of bit of questions and couple of bit of thoughts on things. So once again, to any flat earther who just willing to educate me on these particular points, if ultimately I can speak to Lord Jamar, I would love it. If you see this and I sound crazy, or I come off making sense, or I come off, if you I'm just looking to be informed, most of all. I'm not here to be combative. I'm here to learn. I'm really here. I'm not saying I'm here to believe what you believe after you teach me. I'm just here to be open to your teachings so I can have a well-rounded thought process on this whole flat earth theory. Like I said, most of all, somebody has to be willing to die to prove flat earth if that's what it takes. We put in all of this work and all of these conversations. When are we going to stand on this and be willing to prove this? Because flat earth is because round earth is what is ruling the world. So flat earth, y'all got to do what y'all got to do. Once again, I'm out. I thank y'all for rocking with me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, the Madman. Peace.